Hello friends, in last two videos we discussed about the prophase and metaphase of karyokinesis. In prophase, generally the nucleolus and nucleus disappear and chromatin get converted into chromosomes. While in case of metaphase, all the chromosomes which is produced during the prophase get arranged at the equatorial plane. This is happened because of the differential contraction of the spindle fiber. We have discussed all the changes that occur in the eukaryotic cell during the prophase and metaphase. Now in this video, we are going to focus on third phase of karyokinesis, that is anaphase. Okay, it is the shortest phase of karyokinesis. We know that longest phase is prophase, which is divided into two parts, that is early prophase and late prophase. In the same way, anaphase is the shortest phase and it also divided into two parts, early anaphase and late anaphase. It is the stage where sister chromatid gets separated from one another due to pulling force of spindle fiber, and then separated chromatid move towards respective poles. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss in detail what actually happened inside the cell at the time of anaphase. Okay, we are drawing the cell structure with centrioles. In previous lecture we discussed that during the metaphase centrioles reach to the respective poles. This is centriole number 1 and centriole number 2. And now these centrioles are the site from where spindle fiber arise. Okay, so now the centriole having short fibers called aster rays. Okay, at both the end, and long fibers are present attached to the centriole. They are nothing but the spindle fibers. As I discussed earlier, there are two different type of spindle fiber present in the cell. Some spindle fiber run directly from one centriole to other centriole and they do not have chromosome attached to them, and such spindle fibers are called as continuous spindle fiber or interpolar spindle fiber because they are present between two poles. Now there are some spindle fibers which are attached to chromosomes and they are called as discontinuous or chromosomal fibers. Here you can see these 5 fibers are attached to the 5 chromosomes and they are discontinuous or chromosomal fibers. So now I am showing here 5 chromosomes. This is the centromere of first chromosome and sister chromatid. Second chromosome with sister chromatid. Third, fourth and fifth. Now all these chromosomes are arranged to equatorial plane during the metaphase. Now what happened? The chromosomes, okay, are attached at both the side by these fibers. So they are discontinuous fiber, also called as chromosomal fiber. Okay, while continuous fibers also called as interpolar fibers. Now if we consider this chromosome structure, it will going to look like this. This is centromere of the chromosome and sister chromatid. Now this centromere of the chromosome have a protein complex on it, and the complex contain approximately 80 different type of proteins, and this complex is called kinetochore. Okay, here I am showing kinetochore in different color. So centromere of all the chromosomes is covered with kinetochore, and this is the site to which the spindle fiber get attached. Okay, so the kinetochore on this side of the chromosome is attached with one spindle fiber. Okay, suppose this, and kinetochore on the other side of the chromosome is attached to the other spindle fiber. So all these things you have to know first before we start anaphase. Okay, and now this spindle fiber which is attached to the kinetochore is attached to centriole also. That means one end of the spindle fiber attached to the centriole while other end is attached to the kinetochore of the chromosome. Now at the start of the anaphase, this discontinuous fiber or chromosomal fiber start pulling chromosome towards respective pole. That means this fiber will going to pull this chromosome towards one pole while the other fiber will going to pull the middle chromosome towards this pole. And due to this pulling action, what will going to happen? The centromere get split. This is the centromere. That means this chromosome will going to break from this point. Okay, and now the chromosome get separated. Okay, the separated chromatid or the separated sister chromatid of the chromosome now move towards different fold during the anaphase. So first activity which occur during the anaphase is contraction of chromosomal fiber. Okay, this is the chromosomal fiber. I'm not discussing interpolar fiber. I'm talking about chromosomal fiber, the fiber which are attached to the kinetochore of the centromere. And due to contraction of the chromosomal fiber, what will going to happen? The centromere will going to break. Okay, and how this centromere going to break? In my last few videos I discussed this thing in detail. Every chromosome, if we consider animal cell or plant cell, have special type of a protein on the centromere, and that protein is called cohesins. And now this cohesin protein play important role of keeping sister chromatid of the chromosome together. But at the start of the anaphase, a special enzyme get activated, the enzyme called separase. Okay, and now the separase enzyme will going to degrade this cohesin. Okay, and due to degradation of this cohesin, the sister chromatid get easily separated when chromatin fiber or chromosomal fiber contract. Okay, so first thing happen in the anaphase is contraction of the chromosomal fiber. Second is degradation of the cohesin or inactivation of cohesin. It is also a protein complex present on the centromere which play important role of keeping sister chromatid together. And who will going to degrade this cohesin? A separase enzyme. Okay, before anaphase, during the prophase or metaphase, this separase enzyme is inactive because of the presence of inhibitor called securin. But when cell enter in the anaphase, this securin inhibitor will going to release from separase, and due to release of the securin, separase get activated and then separase degrade or separase inactivate cohesins. And due to inactivation of the cohesin, it becomes very easy to break the centromere. Okay, so two things which is responsible for breaking or splitting of the centromere is number one, contraction of the chromosomal fiber or contraction of the discontinuous fiber. Okay, and second is inactivation of the cohesin protein. Now the third important thing which occur is due to the contraction of the chromosomal fiber. Now all the chromosomes get separated from the centromere, and now the structure will going to look like this. Due to contraction of the chromosomal fiber and splitting of the centromere, all the chromosomes which is present in the cell now get separated, and structure will going to look like this. This is the separated centromere with two sister chromatid, and this spindle fiber will also going to have centromere and remaining two sister chromatid. Same thing with all the chromosomal fiber. From first phase, we have considered cell with 5 chromosome as an example. So I am showing 5 daughter chromosome here. You can see now due to splitting of the centromere, the sister chromatid gets separated and now this structure is called daughter chromosome. Daughter chromosome. And now the movement of this daughter chromosome towards a respective pole is started. Okay, so this thing happened during the early anaphase. Now in the late anaphase, what will going to happen? Due to splitting of the centromere, a special type of fiber is produced in between two daughter chromosome, and this fiber is called as, okay, special type of fibers are produced between two daughter chromosome, and this fiber is called as interzonal fiber. Okay, this is now interesting because until now we have discussed only about 3 different type of fiber in the cell. Number 1 is the astral rays which is present on the centriole. Number 2 is interpolar fiber, while number 3 is chromosomal fiber. But now in the anaphase, due to splitting of the chromosome, another type of fiber is produced in between two daughter chromosome, and it is called as interzonal fiber or interchromosomal fiber. So third thing is formation of interzonal fiber. Okay, and once these interzonal fibers are produced, now this daughter chromosome can move towards respective poles due to simultaneous action of chromosomal fiber and interzonal fiber. What is the role of interzonal fiber in the movement of chromosome? Actually, now in the late anaphase, this chromosomal fiber will going to pull chromosome towards respective pole, while this interzonal fiber will going to push the chromosome towards respective pole. That means action of both these chromosomes, action of both these spindle fibers is important for movement of the chromosome. Okay, pulling action of chromosomal fiber and pushing movement of or pushing action of interzonal fiber. Okay, so next thing happen is pulling of the daughter chromosome by number 1 chromosomal fiber and pushing by interzonal fiber. So these two fiber play important role of transferring newly synthesized chromosome towards a respective pole. And in this way, at the end of anaphase, this 5 newly produced chromosome will going to reach towards this pole, and remaining 5 daughter chromosome will going to reach towards opposite pole, and this is the end of anaphase. Okay, at the time of movement of this chromosome towards different pole, large amount of energy is required, and this energy is provided by ATP. So the next point is energy requirement. Approximately 30 molecule of ATP is required for movement of one chromosome. Okay, remember this thing. If cell want to move one daughter chromosome from equatorial plane to the centriole, 30 ATP is required. So in this case, 5 chromosome plus 5 chromosome, that means total 10 chromosome into 30. One chromosome require 30 ATP. So there are total 10 daughter chromosome. So this 5 chromosome will going to require 5 into 30, and remaining 5 will going to require 5 into 30. That means total 10 into 30, 300 more ATP. 300 ATP is required to move all these daughter chromosome to their respective pole. If we consider human cell, in human cell there are total 46 chromosomes instead of this 5. So 46 daughter chromosome to move towards one pole and remaining 46 daughter chromosome move towards other pole. So if we consider human cell example, in that case we have to provide 46 into 30 ATP for this pole and same 46 into 30 ATP for this pole. So in the anaphase, cell require large amount of energy, okay, for the splitting and movement of the chromosome, and we know that all these ATP are already produced during the G2 phase of the interphase, and now that ATP is used in the anaphase by the cell for the movement of chromosome, daughter chromosomes. So this is all about the anaphase. Now in my next lecture I am going to discuss about telophase. In the telophase, what will going to happen? This set of chromosome will going to reach to this centriole, and remaining chromosome will going to reach to opposite centriole, and now two daughter nuclei will be produced and at the two poles of the cell. Okay, and after the formation of the nuclei, the phase of karyokinesis will going to end. That is, nuclear division will going to end. So it is called as telophase. Telo means end and phase means stage. This is the last stage of karyokinesis. Thank you.